Hello everybody, thank you so much for clicking on this video. This is Chris from Cinema Trailer News, and this will be my review for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. So I remember early reports when this movie had a test screening and didn't go so well, so they had to do significant reshoots to try and fix it. So they did extensive reshoots to this movie, and that means adjusting the story and also cutting a lot of cameos that I think would have been a little bit of distracting for the movie. But the movie that we finally get, it still has a couple of problems here. Now I still enjoy the movie a lot, but there are some things I had to say about it. Now there will be no spoilers in this video. So fans divided. Now people are going to be divided on this film, and I wish I could say it was simple as if you're coming to see this movie for Doctor Strange, you're going to love it. But if you're going to go and see this movie because of Wanda, you may not love it so much. Now, also I think that the real issue here is maybe Kevin Feige and the huge and the burden of huge expectations, and the WandaVision is completely undermined, and that was perhaps the most shocking of all for me. Now, who will like this movie the most? Now, if you are a die-hard MCU fan, not a Marvel Comics fan, that's crucial. But if you are a die-hard MCU fan and somehow you didn't care for WandaVision and you don't know so much about the source material, the comics, the Marvel comics, well, I think that's the sweet spot here, and I think you're going to enjoy the movie a lot more. But let's move on to the story. Now, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness sees Benedict Cumberbatch as Stephen Strange venture into alternative realities in effort to stop someone who's threatening the multiverse. Now, let's start with the positive. Now, the story here. This movie is a really solid showcase for both Doctor Strange and Elizabeth Olsen's Wanda. The movie is largely about their struggle to manage not being able to have the things that they want most and the thing that they desperately want and will do anything for it. Now, and it is explored in a way where one can really take a step forward with personal change without having this experience with the other, and that of course strengthens the film overall quite considerably, and I like that. Now, there are not to the comments here. The movie is 90% Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch, and it's so faithful to the mystical Marvel comics. That's pretty cool to see, and some really great elements from the Scarlet Witch lore here. Now let's move on to the cast, and let's start with Benedict Cumberbatch, and he's 1000% committed, and he really is Doctor Strange. He has cool action scenes here, and like early in the film he leaps off of a balcony, and it was perfect. It was just so awesome to watch. Now, Elizabeth Olsen, she's also 1000% committed here. She looks stunning, and we finally get to see, or at least a very hint of the Scarlet Witch of the comics finally joining the MCU. Now, let's move on to Benedict Wong, and as always, Benedict Wong's presence as one is just a damn joy and delightful, and he exudes these good vibes and the strength and integrity, and he often it makes all the characters around him better, and that's because of who one is as a person and as a character. It's just a really fantastic character. Now we also have America Chavez and see a newcomer, Sochi Gomez, who I would say makes a pretty big impression here for a number of reasons. Now, Americans buying connect with Doctor Strange does make a considerable amount of these movies hot. Now, but I think that she also takes a lot of valuable screen time, and in this movie they have two spellcasters, and they surely could have gotten from multiverse to multiverse themselves, especially since all of America Chavez's personality from the comics has been sucked out here. So it's not even the fan favorite character from the comics, but I still think that Sochi Gomez did a good job what she was given to do. So, and also her powers were very well done here, and it was just very cool to see. Now, some Scarlet Witch scenes, they have inventive ideas here and on how she can use her powers, and how they have been twisted by the dark hole, and how she can scare the crap out of you. Now, Olsen, once again, does a terrific job of conveying Wanda's love for her children and the pain of having them taken from her. Now, there's also the mid-credit scenes. No, there are two end credit scenes here. And now, the very one at the very end of the movie, before the lights goes up, it's just a joke, and it wasn't that funny. Now, but the one and the first end credit scene does a great job of getting us excited about the future of the MCU, and and that's what a proper end credit scene should do. So that was great. Now let's move on to some of the negatives, and let's start with director Sam Raimi. Now, I think that some part of this movie it helps Sam Raimi signature style, and others do not. Now, I think that sometimes his humor is too silly, and his idea of sentimentality is too hokey. And Doctor Strange has a short monologue in the third act of this movie, and it was not good. Now, there's also the PG-13 rating. Now, this movie feels significantly watered down. In fact, I know that's because you can feel it, and you can tell watching the movie. Now, there's always this build up to a cool scene that is coming with cool powers, and you're like, oh, here it comes. But it then everything happens so fast and off screen that it's over before the scene even has really begun, and you sort of not allowed to savor anything. So let's move on to the action scenes. Now, all the cool moments have been shown in the ad campaign to sell you this movie, and you like, this would have been better if this was the moment before the big amazing moments, but no, they put everything in the trailers, so you have seen all the cool scenes already. Now, I think that here there are really cool action scenes, but they were not memorable, not of it. So there is that. Now let's move on to the Illuminatis. Now all the cameos, the crash that this movie was supposed to rely on, shockingly underwhelming, and that's how I would describe them. And what is shocking about this is Kevin Feige, and he's supposed to be the master of this sort of things. But overall, considering how short and lacking the Illuminati sequence is, I don't even know if they should have put them in this movie. Quite honest. Now, in terms of the VFX here, now I think for the most part the visuals were outstanding. Now sometimes they were a little bit bad and distractingly, especially with the monster. I think there was so many CGI monster in this movie. Now there's also the similarities to other NCU movies. Now there is these scenes, this is from the trailers, where Commodore gets ready to defend itself, and that scene is similar to the one to Talon, when Talon gets ready to defend itself in Shang-Chi. So I think the NCU needs to do a better job in terms of distinguishing itself with their own movies. Now there's also WandaVision is undone here. Now to come this close to have the awesome character from the comics coming to the NCU, hard to believe that this is our Wanda. No Vision in this movie here, and that's an important part of WandaVision. Now, because that was about Wanda having a family, and this movie, it doesn't. It's just like Michael Warden, the writer here, just didn't watch WandaVision. It feels that way, or he completely ignored it. Now, I think the Multiverse of Madness has some great ideas, great visuals, excellent performance, but ultimately it gets in its own way. And I think the director Sam Raimi and writer Michael Warden were maybe the wrong creative choices to put on this. And I'm very surprised that Kevin Feige didn't see that, because it just feels very weird. But overall, I enjoy still the movie a lot. I think it's quite good. It's not like a wow NCU movie, but it's really good. So I think that you still should watch it, because there are a lot of cool things here to explore and to get excited about the future of the NCU. And those are my thoughts on Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. So if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. Please consider subscribe to the channel, share this video with your friends, and like always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.